There comes a moment in every man's life when he realizes that the real battle isn't out there. It's in here. It's not about her. It's not about the people who doubted you, rejected you, or walked away. The real battle is with yourself. Your discipline, your focus, your ability to build something so solid that no loss, no betrayal, no silence can ever shake it. That's the essence of Dark Stoicism. It's not about being cold or bitter. It's about being unshakable. It's about turning heartbreak into fuel, turning anger into discipline, turning chaos into clarity. It's about building a life so strong, so purpose-driven that you become untouchable, not because you've shut the world out, but because you've built a foundation no one can break. This isn't revenge. This isn't about proving anyone wrong. This is about you, becoming the man who no longer needs validation, who no longer chases, who no longer falls apart when someone leaves. It's about creating a world where your peace, your progress, and your power belong to you, and only you. In this video, you're going to learn exactly how to build that life. A life of purpose, a life of quiet strength, a life where your energy is yours, your focus is yours, and your future is yours. Because the truth is, the moment you stop living for others and start building for yourself, you become something rare, a man who cannot be touched. If you're ready to stop chasing and start building, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below, "I build a life no one can shake." Now, let's begin. Number 1, why untouchable is the goal. Being untouchable doesn't mean you stop feeling. It doesn't mean you turn cold or emotionless. It means you build a foundation so strong that no external chaos, no breakup, no betrayal, no rejection can shake your sense of self or your direction in life. Most men never get here. They build their entire identity on someone else's validation. When that validation disappears, they collapse. But the man who builds himself first, the man who understands that his worth, his purpose, and his peace are his responsibility, can weather anything. This is the goal, internal power. Because when your happiness is no longer tied to anyone else, you stop moving from a place of fear or desperation. You stop chasing, you stop begging, you stop performing, and instead you start living with calm, quiet confidence. The Stoics understood this better than anyone. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That's the heart of being untouchable, knowing that while you can't control what others do, you can always control how you respond. And that control is where true power lives. From a psychological perspective, this shift is what changes everything. A man grounded in his own value doesn't just survive loss, he uses it. He turns pain into progress, rejection into redirection, and heartbreak into fuel. And that transformation is what makes him unshakable. Because the truth is, when you reach this level, nothing external can touch you. Not her silence, not her opinion, not even her regret. Number 2, stop building for her. Start building for you. Most men live their lives as if they're performing. Every achievement, every habit, every move quietly aimed at proving something to someone else. Maybe it's her, maybe it's an ex, maybe it's the people who doubted you. But here's the reality. The moment you start building for someone else, you give away your power. When you live for her validation, you make her the center of your world, and you make your worth fragile. The second she pulls away, that foundation crumbles. But when you shift your focus, when you start building for you, everything changes. Your progress stops being about proving a point and starts being about fulfilling a purpose. The Stoics lived by this principle. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." Why? Because growth isn't about being seen, it's about becoming. It's about putting in the work in silence day after day, not to impress anyone, but to shape yourself into the man you know you're meant to be. From a psychological standpoint, this shift frees you. It removes the pressure of performance and replaces it with the steady discipline of internal validation. You stop obsessing over who's watching and you start focusing on what truly matters: your body, your mind, your mission, your peace. And here's the paradox. When you stop building for her, that's when she and everyone else starts to notice. But by then, you won't care, because your life won't be about being noticed. It'll be about being you, and that's a kind of power no one can touch. Number 3, discipline is the foundation. Discipline is the backbone of a life no one can shake. It's what separates the man who drifts with the tides of his emotions from the man who controls his course, no matter the storm. Without discipline, you'll always be at the mercy of your impulses, reacting, chasing, and breaking when life tests you. But with discipline, you become untouchable. The Stoics treated discipline not as punishment, but as freedom. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work, as a human being." That mindset is what builds strength over time, showing up for yourself, even when you don't feel like it. Discipline starts small. Waking up early, keeping promises to yourself, training your body every day, even when you're tired, reading instead of scrolling, choosing structure over chaos. These small habits compound until they form a man who no longer needs external validation, because his confidence is built on the quiet proof that he can rely on himself. Psychologically, discipline rewires you. It teaches your brain that discomfort isn't danger, it's progress. Every rep, every early morning, every hard choice builds a sense of control that spills into every area of your life. And that control, the ability to act with intention instead of impulse, is what makes you immune to the chaos of others. Because here's the truth: a disciplined man doesn't chase. He doesn't beg. He doesn't crumble when someone walks away. He stays grounded, steady, and focused, because his life is built on a foundation no one else can touch. Number 4, mastering your emotional state. A man who cannot master his emotions will always be controlled by them. And when you're controlled by your emotions, anyone who knows how to push your buttons controls you too. That's why emotional mastery is the cornerstone of a life she, and no one else, can touch. The Stoics understood this better than anyone. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This is the essence of Dark Stoicism, the discipline to feel everything but to act on nothing but reason. Mastering your emotional state doesn't mean shutting your emotions down. It means acknowledging them without letting them drive your decisions. It means learning to sit with anger without lashing out, to sit with sadness without chasing validation, and to sit with discomfort without trying to escape it. From a psychological perspective, this control is rare, and rare is powerful. When you stop reacting to every trigger, you become unpredictable in the best way. Your calm presence creates a sense of stability and strength that others can't help but notice. And that stability, it's magnetic. This emotional steadiness also protects you. When someone tries to manipulate you with silence, with mixed signals, or with games, you no longer crumble. You see the pattern for what it is, and you stay rooted, because your peace is no longer up for negotiation. The man who masters his emotions isn't cold, he's in control, and that control, that calm confidence, is what makes him untouchable. Number 5, money, health, and mission. If you want to build a life no one can touch, you need 3 pillars: money, health, and mission. Without these, you'll always be vulnerable, dependent on someone else for stability, validation, or purpose. But when you own these 3 areas, you create a foundation that no one, not her, not anyone, can shake. Money gives you freedom. It doesn't buy happiness, but it buys options: where you live, how you spend your time, and who you allow into your life. Financial discipline, saving, investing, creating streams of income means you're no longer forced to tolerate situations that drain you simply because you can't afford to walk away. Health is your power source. A strong body builds a strong mind. When you train daily, eat clean, and take care of yourself, you don't just look better. You think clearer, move sharper, and carry yourself with a quiet confidence that people feel without you saying a word. And finally, mission, your purpose. Without a mission, you drift. You make other people your mission, and that's where weakness grows. But when you wake up every day with a reason, building a business, mastering a craft, creating something meaningful, you become a man of direction. And direction breeds respect. The Stoics lived this way. They believed that virtue, discipline, and focus were the truest forms of wealth. Marcus Aurelius didn't live for applause, he lived for purpose. That's what made him unshakable. Psychologically, mastering these three areas rewires how you see yourself and how others see you. You stop moving through the world as a man hoping to be chosen and start moving through it as a man who chooses himself every single day. And when you have that, money, health, and mission locked in, that's when you become truly untouchable. Number 6, the power of silence and privacy. Not everyone deserves access to your world. In fact, the less people know about your moves, the stronger your position becomes. That's the power of silence and privacy. Building in the shadows, away from noise, opinions, and distractions, until the results speak for themselves. The Stoics practiced this instinctively. Marcus Aurelius didn't announce his growth, he lived it. Seneca didn't broadcast his philosophy, he embodied it. And that's why their wisdom still carries weight centuries later, because real strength doesn't need validation. Psychologically, privacy creates intrigue. When you stop sharing every detail of your life, your pain, your progress, your plans, you become unpredictable. That unpredictability makes people pay attention. They start to wonder what you're building, where you're going, and why you've gone quiet. But here's the key. Silence isn't a tactic to get attention, it's protection. It shields your focus. It keeps your energy pure. It allows you to build without interference, without judgment, and without the noise of other people's opinions clouding your vision. And when the results come, when your body transforms, your income grows, your life levels up, there's nothing to argue with, because the proof is undeniable. You don't need to explain. You don't need to prove. You've already done it. In Dark Stoicism, silence isn't emptiness. It's strategy. It's strength. It's the calm, patient discipline of a man who knows that the loudest victories are the ones you don't announce. Number 7, surround yourself with strength. No man becomes untouchable alone. The people you keep around you will either sharpen you or drain you. There's no middle ground. If you want to build a life she can't touch, you need to surround yourself with strength, people who push you higher, not pull you down. Weak environments breed weak men. If you spend your time with people who gossip, complain, and settle, you'll eventually do the same. But when you align yourself with men who value discipline, purpose, and growth, their standards become yours. Their energy elevates you. Their focus inspires you to demand more from yourself. The Stoics sought out this kind of strength. Marcus Aurelius surrounded himself with thinkers and leaders who sharpened his philosophy and his character. Epictetus built his life around discipline and simplicity, cutting out the noise of people who didn't share his vision. Psychologically, your environment programs you. The voices you hear daily, friends, family, co-workers, shape your thoughts and behaviors more than you realize. When you choose to place yourself in an environment of strength, that programming flips. You begin to think bigger, move smarter, demand more. And here's the secret. Strength attracts strength. As you level up, you'll naturally draw people who align with your mission, mentors, partners, allies who help you build. And as that circle grows, so does your resilience. Because a man surrounded by strength doesn't just build for today, he builds a future that no one, no breakup, no loss, and no chaos can touch. Number 8, continuous self-improvement. The moment you stop growing, you start slipping backward. If you want to build a life that no one can shake, you have to commit to continuous self-improvement, not for a week, not for a season, but for the rest of your life. The Stoics understood this. Seneca wrote, "As long as you live, keep learning how to live." That's the mindset of a man who never gets comfortable, never stops sharpening his mind, body, and purpose. Self-improvement isn't about ego. It's not about proving to anyone that you've leveled up. It's about the quiet discipline of becoming better every single day, stronger, sharper, calmer, more grounded. It's about reading when you could scroll, training when you could sit, and learning when you could coast. Psychologically, this commitment to growth rewires your self-image. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, every workout completed, every skill learned, every moment of discipline, you teach your brain that you are a man who follows through. That belief becomes confidence, and that confidence becomes your edge. And here's the paradox. When you make self-improvement a lifestyle, her opinion, anyone's opinion, stops mattering. Because your validation no longer comes from external approval, it comes from the steady, undeniable progress you see in yourself. Continuous self-improvement builds momentum, and momentum over time builds a life so solid, so sharp, and so full of purpose that no one, not her, not anyone, can touch it. Number 9. Purpose over people. When you make people your purpose, you hand them control over your life. Their moods become your moods. Their choices dictate your peace. Their absence leaves you broken. That's why the man who wants to be untouchable must flip the script. Purpose first, people second. This doesn't mean shutting everyone out. It means anchoring your life in something bigger than relationships, validation, or approval. When your mission drives you, you stop chasing, you stop begging, you stop living in reaction to other people's actions. Instead, you move with direction, clarity, and power. The Stoics lived for purpose. Marcus Aurelius didn't waste his energy on those who doubted him. He poured himself into the work of leading an empire and mastering his mind. Epictetus taught that freedom comes from focusing on what you control, and your mission is always under your control. Psychologically, purpose is stabilizing. It gives you a reason to wake up every morning and a direction to move in, no matter who stays or who leaves. And that stability is magnetic. People sense it. They feel that you're not desperate for attention because you already have something bigger guiding you. Here's the paradox. The moment you put purpose over people, you become the man people naturally respect and gravitate toward. Not because you're trying to be wanted, but because you've stopped needing to be. A man driven by purpose is a man no one can break, because when your mission is clear, you never lose yourself, even when you lose someone else. Number 10. Living above the noise. The world is loud. Opinions, drama, chaos. People projecting their insecurities onto you, trying to pull you into battles that aren't yours. But when you've built a life rooted in discipline, purpose, and self-respect, you stop hearing the noise because you've risen above it. Living above the noise means you no longer react to every slight, every insult, every loss. You see it all for what it is, temporary, meaningless, irrelevant to your mission. That detachment isn't apathy, it's clarity. It's knowing that your time and energy are too valuable to waste on anything that doesn't build you. The Stoics called this ataraxia, peace of mind that comes from seeing the world clearly and refusing to let it shake you. Marcus Aurelius didn't chase applause. Seneca didn't argue with fools. They built lives so focused and so full that the noise couldn't touch them. Psychologically, this is freedom. When you stop seeking validation, stop trying to prove yourself, stop living for the opinions of others, you start to feel an unshakable calm. And that calm changes everything. You move differently, you speak differently, you carry yourself with the quiet confidence of a man who knows exactly who he is and exactly where he's going. And here's the beauty. When you live above the noise, you realize the truth. The life you've built isn't just untouchable, it's yours, and nothing, not her, not rejection, not loss, can take it away. The real goal isn't making her regret, it's not proving a point, it's building a life so full of discipline, purpose, and quiet power that no one, not her, not rejection, not loss, can shake you. That's what being untouchable really means. Dark Stoicism teaches that you don't need to control others. You only need to master yourself. Because once you've mastered your mind, your emotions, your habits, and your mission, you stop moving out of fear or desperation. You move out of clarity, confidence, and strength. Build your body, sharpen your mind, protect your energy, commit to your purpose, and watch how everything else, respect, peace, freedom, begins to follow. If you're ready to stop chasing, stop breaking, and start building a life that no one can touch, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I build a life no one can shake. Thanks for watching Stoic Blessing, where men rise, rebuild, and become untouchable.